Hello, this is Dread, and in today's video topic, we are going to talk about the recent trade announcement from EHG and the point 0.9 update and the open beta test that will be going live on February 23rd. After gaining a lot of feedback after posting the item gifting manifesto in December, EHG has heard us. They have changed their plans a bit and found a new way to implement a system that can satisfy everyone at once, whether you are pro trade or not. So, how are they going to do this? Through the introductions of factions, of course. But before we talk about that, we have to talk about today's video sponsor. Wait, a sponsor? Yes, you heard that right. On this special occasion, EHG has asked me to talk about the open beta event coming on February 23rd. Have you been on the fence about Last Epoch and didn't want to spend the money up front to buy it to try it out? Well, I have amazing news for you, my friend. If you go through the link in the description and sign up on their Steam page, you'll be able to download Last Epoch and play it for free. That's right, F-R-E-E, free. EHG is releasing a demo that starts February 23rd and lasts till the 27th, where you'll be able to play on the servers with your friends. If you have any, it's okay, I don't have any either. Up to chapter 4 of the campaign, so you can see if you want to take the plunge into Atera with us or not when point 0.9 drops, which is March 9th. In this demo, you'll get to go through the campaign normally, level up a fresh character, choose your mastery, mess with the insane depth of the Last Epoch skill system, get to see Atera's hot new bachelor, Auric, then kill Mr. Krabs aboard his ship and save him. And if you end up enjoying the game enough and want to play through the rest, you can buy the game and join us all on March 9th when the point 0.9 multiplayer patch drops, which will include a large host of skill changes, some balance changes, and of course the ability to play with up to 3 of your friends. So to say that again, so you don't forget, between February 23rd and the 27th, you can play Last Epoch for free, as long as you sign up with the link in the description and follow the instructions on screen. All right, now that the sponsored segment is over, we can talk about the topic of this video, which is the trade development update. So, TLDR, if you want just a TLDR of the post, they heard us. They heard all of our complaining and are talking about the trade update. So they have decided to change their minds because EHG is a good game development studio that listens to its player base. And they kind of want to be able to help both sides of the argument out instead of having us just gnaw at each other like wolves. So that's where we're getting factions. So these are quote unquote item factions. So after a certain point in the campaign, you'll be able to choose one faction or the other. You'll be able to be in the Merchants Guild or in the Circle of Fortune. What does this mean? This means that you'll either be able to buy, sell, or trade any type of equipment eventually with other players in the bazaar with a whole auction house, or you'll be in the Circle of Fortune, which will just improve the quantity and quality of your drops, meaning that if you play SSF, you'll have that buttery smooth experience that Last Epoch is known for. So TLDR, Merchants Guild, you get to sell, buy stuff. Circle of Fortune, better drops. Now, there's a lot of intricacies between how this system works, and if you want to learn more about it, I'd heavily suggest clicking the link in the description and reading up, because there's a lot of information in this post that's not going to fit in a 10-minute video. So TLDR here with the of course the factions, you will start at 0 of the reputation of the faction. When you get to that point in the campaign, you'll choose a faction and you'll start gaining a faction rank, which then you'll of course get ranks. And these aren't showing all the ranks. This is actually something that a lot of people are confused about. This isn't all the ranks that are going to be there. These are just some examples of ranks. But for the Circle of Fortune, like rank 2, you'll be able to have a chance to reuse your Rune of Ascendance, or you'll have more affixes that are likely to be exalted, or you get twice as likely for legendary potential. So if you go through the Circle of Fortune path and you don't want to trade with other people, you go with the Circle of Fortune path and climb up those ranks and you'll get better benefits. Now, of course, the Merchants Guild, you'll get to trade stuff very easily. You'll get bazaar item slots, stuff like that. You'll be able to trade in the bazaar, all of that, which is great, right? Now, what does this mean? Well, this means that Last Epoch is making a big like difference. Like they're going a completely different way than everyone else in this regard. In the past, I have criticized EHG for being different, for being different sake. Like they're making different changes from the ARPG formula just to be different. But I think they nailed it on the head with this change. I think that this is going to make Last Epoch a very unique and refreshing experience versus other ARPGs where the factions specifically are going to be a lot of fun to play with. Specifically, like both factions, like they're gonna be fun to play with. Now, there's some caveats. Uh, if you get gear in Circle of Fortune and you're wearing that gear and you want to swap to the Merchants Guild, you will not be able to use or wear or trade items from the Circle of Fortune group, right? They will be item locked to your character. You can put them in your in your chest, in your stash, but you won't be able to use them, wear them, or sell them, right? In the trade environment. They'll just be there. Now, of course, for the Merchants Guild, the same thing applies. If you buy an item from the Merchants Guild, from the Bazaar, you will not be able to actually use that item if you swap over back to Circle of Fortune. So this means that you are heavily incentivized of staying with one, of course, faction, unless if you want to like grind out two different sets of gear for two different sets of things, which most people aren't even going to bother with. So you're just going to choose one or the other. And this is account wide as well. The faction reputation is shared account wide. So if you actually start a new character and you make that character the Merchants Guild, of course you'll have all the prior ranks from it as well. So this is like season based progression, which is something we really need for Last Epoch right now. So I'm really happy that they're adding this. So every cycle, your reputation will reverse. And if you're wondering how long it will take for you to actually get reputation, in the FAQ here, they say by the time that you reach level 100, you should have maxed one of your things to the max rank, which is I think it's 10. I think I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, there's a lot more info in the FAQ. But what does this mean? Well, we get the bazaar, right? The bazaar is literally just going to be an auction house. It's going to be a straight up auction house. You're going to be able to search items on the auction house and buy it with favor that you get from the faction, right? And of course, with gold as well, you'll be able to trade it with gold as well. So, like, essentially, it's going to be a full fledged auction house, like fully. And of course, if you go to the Circle of Fortune, you don't get that, but you get a lot of different benefits. So if you're playing solo, right, you get a lot more benefits for playing, if you're playing in like the trade league or whatever you want to call it, you get that, right? Now, you don't have to actually choose a league. You can flip flop between like ranks and all that. Like you can flip flop between factions. So you don't have to like choose the SSF bubble. You can choose whatever, right? So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the biggest thing. Also, as well, for the friend gifting system, we are going to get an update where we're going to be able to gift an exalted or unique item to friends. Any item, even if it's not in the party, like when it's dropped, it's going to be great. This is going to incentivize you playing with friends for a long time. So if you really like playing with your friends, you're going to be able to just trade items freely. You won't even have to interact with this system. You'll be able to trade with items freely. So if you're two solo people, you will get the benefits of the Merchants Guild because you'll be able to trade with your friend while also getting Circle of Fortune because you'll both choose Circle of Fortune, but you both can choose to trade stuff in between you guys with this if the item wasn't there when you dropped. So let's say you were still playing while your buddy was asleep. Well, with the resonance, you'll be able to send that item over to your friend, which is great. They'll drop eventually after a very extended period of time. You have to play with people to kind of like combat RMT a little bit. But yeah, overall, I applaud EHG for this entire system. I really enjoy it. I think it's a very nuanced way of fixing the problem while also keeping it in Last Epoch-y in its own way, right? I think this is a departure from other ARPGs and the norm from other ARPGs, but it'll be a departure in a way where it'll be good instead of just being a bad departure, right? So that's pretty much it on my opinions if you want to read through it more. But TLDR, we're getting trade in later than point 0.9. We're not getting it in point 0.9. We're getting it later in the next update, probably, or the update after that. We're not exactly getting it in point 0.9, right? So, with all that being said, this is Dread. Have a wonderful rest. Stay wherever you're at, guys. Bye.